Todd here. I just got home from work. I'm going to try to do about 10 minutes of drawing, if I can make it. Gotta finish a comic book page. I don't want to say I'm afraid, but I am. She's near. If I can get past her, then maybe I could draw for at least 5 minutes. But she's always there, always lurking around. I just want to be able to draw for about 5 minutes, even a minute. I know she's somewhere. I know she's somewhere coming after me. Oh no. Oh no. I can hear her. Stay away! Stay away! She got the hounds! Oh no. I'm being surrounded. Teenagers. Dog. Babies. I can't escape. Please stop. Please stop. Alright everybody, this is Melchizedek Todd. I used to go by Mel because most people can't pronounce Melchizedek. I like to do humor. I do a lot of serious subjects with my comic books, but I feel like God gave me a sense of humor to, I guess, balance it, and so that's why these intros to this video series are going to be pretty humorous, pretty funny. At least I think they are. I mean, actually, my family is very supportive of me doing my comic books and with my ministry. So I just like to make fun and have fun with that's a different aspect of trying to draw comic books while you have a family and while you have a full-time job. So let me just go ahead and start with the intro. Opinions are like butts and noses. Everyone has them, and they're full of holes. I believe that's completely true, because this is what I'm really doing with this series is just my opinions of what has helped me out to produce I guess a pretty large amount of comic book pages, and actually I just finished a series that was like over 600 pages, 5 volumes. Did it, I guess, in took me about over 10 years to do it. So I can't say I'm like the authority of you know, producing artwork and stuff while, you know, having a family and a full-time job, but, you know, I mean, the proof is in the pudding. So I've done some stuff, I have some experience, and, you know, I mainly just want to, it's more just trying to encourage people. People might be on the fence, or people might be feeling discouraged or don't know where to start, you know, but they have a dream and they want to do comic books, and, you know, it's hard, you know, working a full-time job and having a family, because, you know, your family comes first, and then, you know, you got to work, you got to pay bills and so forth. And so, you know, so this is, like I said, this is more encouragement, I feel. Like I said, these are opinions. I would like others to maybe eventually share, you know, what has worked with them, you know, because we all have different experiences, and we all can help each other out. But that's why I have this phrase, you know, for the intro. You know, I mean, this, like I said, this are just my opinions, what has worked for me, and, you know, it may not work for you. You may not agree. You may agree. You may disagree. So let me just start. Originally, this was going to be a book, but then I thought about making a video series. So that's why I have some things I can probably read, but I want to read because I wrote it down. So let me read this first. Pretty much probably just what I just told you. Please forgive the grammar mistakes. So let me go ahead and read this. I've created this book for the person who, like me, work a full-time job, have a family and other responsibilities that we juggle to make time to create comics. These are my opinions. In no way do I feel like I'm an authority with this topic or the things I've written as Bible. However, since 1999, yes, you can pause, sing the Prince song, I have produced a large body of comic book work that you can check out at my website, www.weaponpress.com, and I did it working a full-time job, then getting married and having a family. So anyway, this is also a process. Some of this work I actually did, probably less than half of it I did when I was single. Well, second paragraph. It is possible to create your dream comic. It is possible to create your epic story, and I know how. Yes, that sounds cliche, but seriously, I'm just sharing what has worked for me. These numbers of years to accomplish over 600 comic pages, and 6 months left into finishing my epic graphic novel series. So actually, I wrote this a while ago because I already finished the graphic novel series, Allegories of the Way. Anyway, the impossible is possible with dedication and hard work, and you too can. And I don't know why I even wrote that. That's really bad English. My wife always says my English is terrible. But anyway, I feel this information is valuable and will help you and others who are working a 9 to 5 and so on. Time can be a blind bastard, but we can master it. Yes, I said master, not manage. More later. But hey, that's just my opinion. And anyway, like I said, that's just my opinion about time. I feel like that. What it's helped me is that I don't see myself as just managing time. I see myself as mastering time. As a believer, I feel like God's given us all authority over everything, and so why can't we have authority over time? I mean, God does, and there's plenty of examples in the Bible where people have been transported and time has stopped. The sun stopped one time during this battle in the Old Testament. In the New Testament, I think Philip was transported. Jesus was transported, and so I just feel like that we can master time. We just takes discipline and believing that you can, and and just that in keeping things in balance and in moderation, and just dedication. And in the series, I'll talk about that. So anyway, let's just jump over to chapter 1, and this is just going to be about chapter 1. Comic books should be drawn in a fast, simplistic style so you can finish it. So chapter 1, how do I begin? Anyway, this quote right here, I've written it down right here, was actually advice given to me by a friend a long time ago. I think right before I started Allegories of the Way, the epic series I just finished. Actually, what I did about 6 pages of allegories. I had just finished doing some very intricate pen and ink work. Mainly it was fine art, and so I decided to go and start doing comic books again. Actually, I took a time off, and I wanted to do like a Christian-based comic book, just promoting God. And I didn't know what style to do because I had just done a whole bunch of different kind of intricate pen and ink styles, and the 6 pages I did were just wacky looking because there was no consistency of the style. Some of it was intricate, some of it wasn't, and I just didn't have direction. I remember at the time I was working as a futon maker, and a friend of mine, John Paul Kenhard, actually, I think he was studying painting at the time. He gave me the advice that he just felt like comic books, should just be done in a linear, fast style so you can get done with it. And and I at first was kind of like, what does, at first I was thinking, well, I don't know what did he know about it? He doesn't even draw comic books, and that's not completely true. But I started thinking about what he said, and it actually did make sense, and I actually was able to make my style into a more linear style. I think, let me see, I'm trying to think, I'm reading this while I'm talking. I could pretty much say all of this. Here we go, let's read the second paragraph. We all have heard of professional artists who have missed deadlines because they draw very detailed art. These guys do comics full-time, so how could I, a working stiff, fare any better? Simplify. I chose a linear style I could draw and then ink pretty fast. It took a little time to master it, but I did. And then I was able to churn out pages quickly. Good old grammar mistakes. I never added shadows or much detail because I figured the shadows could be added during the coloring process, master time, or grayscale tones. The next few pages is the style I used for over 10 years. The linear style worked for me, maybe it can work for you. So, I'm not saying that if you have a detailed style that you shouldn't use it. I mean, it's fine, but I'm just saying that if you're just starting out, you might want to try a linear style, or at least, you know, kind of tone down your detail just so you can finish pages. I mean, that's the ideal, is that you want to get the work done. I know recently I looking at this one project a couple guys are doing, and they are doing this very detailed. I mean, it's beautiful. Beautiful. It's a combo, but it's beautifully done, and it's very detailed. They actually show the process on their website. But as I was looking at the process, I was thinking, this is too much. I mean, they literally are painting, like old school painting, even though it's digital. They're old school painting these pages, and I'm thinking, why am I not using some of the shortcuts in Photoshop you can use, you know, with like with the marquee tool, or with the paint bucket. I mean, they're like literally painting. I'm thinking, this is too much. It's going to take too long. And lo and behold, I actually looked on their the news, and they're behind, very far behind on the project, because they wanted to make it all detailed and so forth. And you know, it's not the greatest thing because they are, because you know, things happen in life, you know, and they have had some things happen in life, and so it's kind of, you know, they're just very far behind. I'm thinking, you know, they should have probably, I mean, they wanted to look really great, which is fine, but they actually had some backers, and so a number of them are complaining, and you know, you're not getting the workout. And so just for me, just my opinion is that, you know, to simplify, you know, for right now. I mean, if you have a team, that's great, but even then, you know, you have to be careful that, you know, your team isn't, one part of your team isn't taking too long. For myself, originally when I started doing this linear style, as you can see, I was going to have a colorist color everything, and but that fell through. So I didn't have a strong computer like during that time. I had an iMac, and I had zip disks, if y'all remember them, and so I couldn't even color. So I had a grayscale. I had to study how to do grayscale and so forth. And so anyway, but I was able to turn out pages fast, you know, really fast, and because of the style. Because like I said, later on, you know, you can, you know, color and so forth. Now I'll show you examples of that too. So anyway, so let me just show you my linear style that I did for about 10 years. Well, you've probably been looking at this one since I've been talking, but you can just see, you know, it's pretty simple, you know. I mean, just a linear style, you know, bold lines and so forth. See right here, you know, bold lines, you know, linear style. And then right here you can see where I did the same thing. It's a linear style, but I added a little shading. And you know, and this, you know, and this can be considered a somewhat complicated picture, because you know, there's a lot of, you know, here's the rocks, and here's, you know, this detailed face and the figure right here, but it's completely linear. It's actually pretty simple in some ways. And then I just added, you know, shading. The shading just is just one tone, so this is even easier, you know. But you can see, you know, you can see the shadow, you know, you can see it, you know, it works. And that's the main thing, is, you know, you want to make sure that it works. And a linear style can do that. You know, less sometimes is more. Here's another example right here. And what I did, actually, I cut this in half. I showed the part which I gray toned over everything. This is an interesting story. You see her ripping in the guy's arm. Then right here you can see the linear aspect of it with no gray toning and so forth. And so you can see, you know, you can see some examples right here. And next, I just want to go and show color, what you can do with color. Well, actually, let me show another gray tone right here. And oh yes, I do use Photoshop. I know I use Photoshop to gray tone the color. I know there's other programs, and I've been joking with a friend lately on the site. He really promotes Manga Studio and other stuff, and which is fine. I think that's probably a good program to make comic books. But you can use Photoshop, and I actually am using an old Photoshop CS2. It's like over 10 years old. But I figure, you know, if it's not broken, you know, why fix it? You know, to me, it works for what I need to do. But anyway, so this is linear, some gray tones, and in this series, I kind of did like some artistic kind of things. I didn't always have the same kind of toning on each panel, as you can see. Like I said, it just it works. Just as, this is pretty much just like, I don't know, like maybe two tones, right here, and then just add a little bit of highlight right here, separate the figures, add a little highlights right here for this bamboo and so forth. Come to this page where I actually just use just one like screen tone. Actually, there's like, well, there's a little bit of a tone right here, but you can see everything. And right here, just add a little different kind of screen tone. Then right here, a little bit more detailed. The figure dark, light tone, darkness, shadow, so forth. But it works. You see it, and it works.